I've not used this before, so I'm just trying it out.
Yo, Joe, Cobra, full force maybe, and even Aussie, because you know what, Nate, we finally bloody done it, mate. We've only gone and bloody done it. We have had, what's that?
You found one.
We found one. Now, here's the thing, right? I didn't think I was going to come around to this as soon as I did, right? I thought I was going to leave you hanging for a bit, but I realized, nah, that's too jerky to do. So we've done it today. We're talking about Skymate with my mate Nate, the Retro Tinker. If you haven't already subscribed to Nate, and I don't know why you wouldn't, his links are in the description. Check it out one time, won't you? Oh, I've got a thing for that. You know what? I always forget to do it, but here it is.
Check it out one time, won't you?
Do check it out. Subscribe to his channel. He comes over here and hangs out on Oh Ring a Bell, the real G.I. Joe show. And why do we do this, Nate?
So that I can learn about G.I. Joe, because I have very, very little knowledge of G.I. Joe.
You know what they say?
Because knowing is half the battle.
Space Commando.
Mate, I got to tell you, I'm so excited for this show. I have put so much effort into it. Now, I'm a low maintenance kind of guy, right? Very little effort goes into anything that I do, but I put so much effort into today. And even then, it might seem like, is this all you did? No, but I'm so pumped. I'm so excited. I'm going to quickly do the Clubhouse roll call, and then we'll say hi to the chat, and then we'll do the thing, and then we'll do the other thing. All right, so if you want to be part of the Clubhouse, all you got to do is be a member or a Patreon supporter. We have Wilhelm, Toy and Hobby, Casey Wheeler, Handsome Man, Ratface, 44 Reviews, David, Samuel Blaine. That's my mate Nate, the Retro Tinker right there. Cindy K, getting the hat. Sonny Sundries, Jonathan Sorensen, Happy Accident, Joshua Allen, our buddy Adam from Go Figure. Then we have Scuba Pete, keeping us safe in the oceans below. Our pal, Phil from Treasures for Trigger. Hans Chow kicking that door in, but he always puts it back up again. Ken Poe, Brendan Haley, Jason Clark, Ryan Head Jim, Justin Bryan, and Space Commander, keeping us safe in the space above. And then we have our Clubhouse members, Cindy K, Gaz, Beta Ray Bob, Spacey, Jason Stillwell, Ryan Sweeney, Keep on Collecting, and Crash. And Crash has got his own show called Crash and Burn. Now, if you want your name called out just like that, all you got to do is be a channel supporter, either Patreon or a membership. That's what you got to do. Let's say hi to the chat real quick, and then we'll get into the show. Our buddy Space Commander in the Peppermint Oil Capsule says, have a great show, guys. Don't forget to link, like, and subscribe. Maybe. Maybe. Ahoy, hoy to Johnny Sorensen and our buddy Kimbo. Speaking of buddies, here's the little saying, good evening, gentlemen. Good evening to you. And then we've got Phil. G'day, fellas and chat. G'day, buddy. Good to see you. I'm not sure I understand the question. I'm not sure I understand what that means. Is this family member Zazel part of G.I. Joe? Not sure. I'm not sure what that means. Is this G.I. Joe a family member? Is that what you're asking? In which case, no. So we're talking about Skymate. What do we do before we do that, though?
We do the thing.
We do the thing.
It's time for everyone's favorite educational program, Oh, Ring a Bell!
Yay! You're so creative. I love that. Nate, just when you think we couldn't possibly have any more clips to show, later on, guess what I'm going to show?
No idea.
More clips. There are more clips coming.
Clips.
I kid you not. Okay. I hear you. I'm not that smart. All right, let's get into it. This action figure, Skymate, came out in 1991. Now we've seen a few G.I. Joes along the way. E Honda was the one that we forgot last week, but E Honda is one of the ones we looked at. Each one had a little bit of a different looking file card, or a little bit of a different card back, or a little bit of a different way to get them. This is how we got Skymate back in 1991. Check that out.
That's pretty wicked. Is that actually like a little glider you can throw or something?
It is. Air Commandos was a one-man aerial craft armed with pivoting submachine guns.
Nice. I can imagine there's been a few black eyes from that thing.
Yeah. I mean, I owned this particular one. Was it because he was Australian? Probably. But also that it came with a glider, right? And that is already extra, right? Now they could have very easily put this in a box. A lot of G.I. Joe vehicles came in a box. This one came on a card back, which I think was to its benefit, because you get to see it proudly displayed on there. You know what you're gonna get with this figure. You get to see the accessories, you get to see the glider, you get to see the figure, and that card. I mean, the size of a G.I. Joe. How big is that card? Pretty bloody big.
Yeah, that's pretty massive.
With the figure attached, do you know how high that can fly, or how far it can fly?
No. Oh, up to 40 feet.
It can. Yeah, exactly. Up to 40 feet. How cool is that? So we've got G.I. Joe, a real American hero. Now, there was a time when the cartoon was coming out from the Deke animated series where it was international heroes. Right now, I still sing Real American Hero, even though I'm Australian, right? Because that's just how the song goes in my mind. But for a short time, it said international heroes, and I was like, oh, yes, nice. G-Force Racing 20's dropped in with a, hey, Zazel and Nate. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for tuning in. We're talking about Now, you can't really appreciate the action figure at this point, but what do you reckon if you walked into the toy aisle in 1991 and saw our mate Skymate? You know what I'm going to do, Nate? Forgive me while I do this, but I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do. Check that out. I've changed your name to Skynate. How cool is that? Anyway, so there is Skymate. Would you have picked this up? 1991. Our mate Nate. What do you reckon?
I reckon I absolutely would have, because not only is it a G.I. Joe, I used to love, the little foam airplanes.
Yes. Yes.
I used to love them. You'd get them in last year, maybe a week or something, and then
very rarely lasted a week.
Next Christmas, there'd be another one in the Christmas stocking, and you'd have a blast for a little while. If I saw that, it was like, I could throw that more than 10 times.
At least more than 10. So here's something that the Lilith is saying. Just how many of these ended up on a garage roof, not to be seen for decades later when you remember your childhood one was on the roof? Now, I would purposely throw them up onto the roof as an excuse to climb up into the side of the house and up onto the roof, right? So I would go, oh, it's stuck up there again. I'd go and get it. G-Force Racing has another memory here for us. My dad got sick of going up on the roof, so he taught me how to retrieve them myself. Yeah, I just needed any excuse to get up on the roof. I'm with you there, my friend. I love this toy so much. So I don't really have a reference to go against it here, but the back of the card you can see has got like more of a digital explosion as opposed to the original sort of fiery explosion. But if you can have a squiz, you might see that there's actually a few kangaroos on the arrow portion. Yeah, a couple of little kangaroos. Now, when I thought Recondo, looking like an Aussie, and then retroactively changed to be something else after the design. You can't mistake this as someone going, well, this is an Australian, and that's it. That's too bad otherwise, right?
Yeah.
So Skymate was going to have a different name before they came up with Skymate. But first of all, what do you think of Skymate as a name for a G.I. Joe, as a code name?
Oh, it's not bad. I mean, it's got mate in it, so it's got the Aussie twang to it there, I guess. It sounds a bit friendly.
It does. It's our Skymate up in the sky. Now, there were some other options. I'm going to give you multiple choice. You tell me which one you think may have been part of this toy. And, you know, when they were creating them, they come up with all sorts of names, right? Before they settle on Skymate. I'm going to tell you 3 names. You tell me which one you think was supposed to be this one before they went with Skymate, right? Multiple choice. Which one, if any? Maybe I've made these up. We don't know. But the 3 options you have are, was this originally supposed to be called Digger, Dingo, or Jackaroo?
Oh. Maybe. I know Digger's a different character, so I would...
Yeah, see, that rings a bell, doesn't it?
Yeah. It does ring a bell. So maybe Dingo?
Now, this was a trick question because all 3 names were linked to this character. Now, if you had to pick one to change Skymate, and I think Skymate's pretty perfect, but if you had to pick one out of Digger, Dingo, or Jackaroo, which one do you reckon you'd go with?
If I had to choose out of them, probably Jackaroo, because well, it's got kangaroos on it.
True.
On the glider. And like Digger sounds like he would have, like, he'd be perfect if he had some sort of like dozer vehicle. Dingo again, something ground based because a dingo's a dog. So Jackaroo would probably.
I like Jackaroo as an option. Skymate's pretty perfect for me though. Little known fact: Skymate was actually Skynet's cousin. And poor Johnny still climbs up on the roof to this day. Most of the trim plants to get leaves out. Action, John. And Lilith wasn't allowed to climb onto the roof.
The best part about climbing onto the roof to get it would have been then you've got extra height to throw it the other direction.
At least 40 feet. Now, me and my brothers, it wasn't just me, it was a joint event. We used to drag out this old mattress to the side of the house and jump off of the roof onto this old mattress. We were a little bit crazy. All right, so let's take a closer look at some of the card. So far, I reckon this is a pretty good selling point. And I might be biased because I owned it, but little old me in 91. At 91, I was 10, turning 11. So I was like at a point where like I had a little bit more awareness. I don't have that much awareness now, but I had a little bit of awareness. And so I was like, oh, it's an Aussie, comes with a glider. That's a pretty good deal. It's got some cool stuff. So I'm fully aware that as maybe non-Australians don't gravitate towards this as much as I did, but I love it. But having said that, we're going to look at some of the things that they went. You want to read this out for us, Skynate?
Collect them all. Blast into battle with G.I. Joe, the over-the-top, the top-notch team of crack military fighters, and join this formidable fighting force as they beat back Cobra TM, the evil terrorist organization bent on destroying good throughout the world. You'll rocket into a whole new dimension of adventure and intrigue with a complete collection of exciting action figures, vehicles, battle gear, accessories, designed to give you the winning edge. Even now, victory is at hand.
Yo, Joe! So they've got 4 of the available ones, 2 for Joe's and 2 for Cobra. Almost certain my brother had the Cobra one on the bottom left. I don't think it was definitely a Cobra one. I'm almost certain it was the bottom right. Sorry, bottom right. The bottom right Cobra one. The two left ones are G.I. Joe. And there's, I don't know, again, maybe because I owned it, I still think that it is the best of the four, but the bottom right one does have that pretty cool, and it's, again, you can't...
It's pretty badass.
Right.
Where'd you actually put the figure on them?
Oh, that's a good question, and we will get to that.
Okay.
Benefits of New York winters jumping from roofs into the snowbanks. Yeah, I didn't have any of that, unfortunately. And that's a good point, Lilith. Probably smart not to jump.
Yep.
Yeah, so at least 4 and 91. Let's have another look at the premise of Air Commandos. Can fly up to 40 feet with action figure attached. You want to read the little blurb here for Skymate?
Air Commandos rule the skies with a fist of iron, and Air Commandos highly trained daredevil pilots who fear no one. Launch these aerodynamic high-speed gliders into battle and watch them swoop and dive over hostile territory, leveling enemy forces with their pivoting submachine guns. Get ready for takeoff.
I reckon Space Commander would like that reading. Well done. Don't forget to leave a like on this stream, and also go check out the Retro Tinker. The link is in the description. So Air Commandos, that's pretty dynamic. There is a picture of the product photography. You know, not necessarily what represents the actual toy, but still pretty close. A few differences there, which you can't really tell until you look at the actual figure, but we'll get into that right now. But those kangaroos you can see there around the little arrow points, and you can see it's telling a little bit of a story, right? So the kangaroos on that arrow is the glider, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's targeting an enemy on the side there. So it's right, and that top gun, danger zone, can pivot on the top there. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but he has at least 2 accessories. One of them is a compound bow. Can you tell what the second accessory is? It's all right if you can't, because we're going to have a closer look, but just as a guess.
Yeah, not from here, I can't.
That's all right. We're going to have a closer look in a moment.
But
before we do, it could be. It could be. So that's, sorry for the low image shots. This was the best one I could find. And so basically they clip on to the bottom there. There's actually, he's not attached to it right now, but part of that sort of silver colored or metallic colored plastic on the bottom there, it actually has foot pegs. So he can peg to that, which is good if you're throwing him. So it would basically clip around the waist. I can't remember if it had a back peg, but I don't think it did. Tell me if I'm wrong. Boomerang, could be. Makes sense. Makes sense. Good morning, Tej. How are you, buddy?
How you going, Bank?
Now, Nate, I've said hello to Tej. You missed that last time. Just forewarning. Now, I don't know if it had a back peg, but it did clip on, and he put the foot into the foot pegs, and it pretty much stayed on there pretty well. All right, so that's essentially how he would stay on there. Now we're going to...
What kind of material were they made of? Like, was it like a flexible plasticky thing?
Yeah. Flexible plastic. In fact, you could if you took it all apart, you could sort of like unfold it. It's probably the best homemade plane. Like if you were going to make a paper plane, this is the best version of that you can do.
Actually, I have seen paper planes made like that with the circle at the back. And
right. Yeah, I was never that good. I could never fold a paper plane evenly. It was always wrong. It just always no back peg. Okay, thank you. The Lilith is a great source of G.I. Joe knowledge and history. I often ask them for a little bit of knowledge and stuff, particularly around Australian G.I. Joe releases and stuff. Much appreciated. Yeah, vinyl probably more, that makes more sense, but definitely flexible plastic like, let's say flexible plastic like vinyl or maybe it's flexible vinyl like plastic. Either one's of those.
Yep.
Here we go with the file card. And I know I'm dragging out before we get a close look at the figure, but let's do the. Do you want to do the file card first, or you want to have a look at the figure first?
They'll do the file card. We're here already.
All right. Perfect.
Okay. File name Toner Daniel T. Status attached to G.I. Joe on second assignment from 3 Saber something. SAS. Birthplace Queenstown, Australia.
Where is that?
Where's Queenstown?
Let's Google Queenstown, Australia, and we'll find out.
You Google it, and I'll keep reading.
Okay.
Skymate was handy with boomerangs, knives, woomerers, spear throwers in brackets. Long before he received exotic weapons training in the Special Air Service, growing up on a remote station not far from the Haast Bluff Aboriginal Reserve. He acquired many of the skills that would enable him to outmaneuver Cobra in trouble spots around the globe.
What a
SAS
legend.
troopers, tough lot. They think wrestling crocodiles is a sport for sissies and shouldn't be engaged in by real men with important things to do. Now, Skymate, he's one of the toughest of the lot and twice as dangerous because on top of being tough, he's quiet and fast. Not the bloke you'd want soaring down on you in a dark night with a compound bow in his hand. Sounds like a badass.
He does. Now, the quote is probably from someone within G.I. Joe. And if in case you're wondering what SAS stands for, that stands for the Special Air Services. Phil, nice try, mate. I know that we like to claim a lot of Kiwis as Aussies. But Queenstown is actually a town in Tasmania. So, unless we just claim that too.
Yeah, but I don't think you'd find many crocs in Queenstown, Tasmania.
Well, you wouldn't down that way, no. That's a pretty epic file card. That really, and as far as for me personally speaking, I like the little nod to wrestling, even though it's saying that wrestling crocodiles is a bit of a sissy thing. Yeah, maybe that's what we did, Phil. Sorry, buddy. But I also think that it makes him sound like he's a capable soldier, and G.I. Joe have recruited him because of his abilities, right? So we can see in this card art here, he's mostly green and gold, some black, but with a distinctive pink hat. Now, you might think that's a weird choice, but it was the 90s, and you had to throw in some pink somewhere.
I don't think that the color is odd. I think it's odd that they gave him like a baseball helmet-y hat.
True. Yeah. But if you're flying in the night sky or at 40 feet, you might want a bit of a helmet.
Yeah, true.
So we'll remove that real quick. We're going to have a look at the action figure now. We're jumping over to 3D Joe's, the best source of G.I. Joe anything. Now, the ear flaps, you question the ear flaps, but guess what? Surplus of stack helmets. The pink hat is fine. I question the ear flaps. Yes, but it does serve, because of the pegs on the side, to keep his eye visors on, which he can make go forwards and back. Kenny, how are you, buddy? At work, I only just made it. I have to ask, what did I miss? Is this one Australian? Yes, we finally got there, Kenny. Aussie.
Oi.
Aussie.
I was like this close to like tracking you down, breaking into your house, and just be like, reveal to me your Australian G.I. Joes.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yes. Oi, indeed. All right, so let's get a 360 view on this. So his accessory is a boomerang in pink to match his hat. You can't really tell there, but I'll show you a better picture of it in a moment. He actually has a kangaroo sculpted onto that on the front of the pink hat or cap or helmet or whatever. I do like the green and gold and the black mix as well. Let's get a little bit of a look. He's got a knife sheathed onto his arm there. And he's got, some pretty cool straps and so forth, shoulder pads, a few cool pouches. And that bow has a hole in it because, get this, there's a peg on his chest that it attaches to. How cool is that?
That is cool. So you could attach the bow to his chest while he's gliding.
Yes, and on his hip here is a little compartment that you can slide the boomerang into, so he can be hands-free while on the glider.
That's cool.
How cool is
They
that?
thought that through. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we'll take a look down here, an action shot. Blammo! How cool does he look? Now, again, because I own this figure, I'm willing to accept that maybe I'm just being biased here, but that 360 view, the boomerang in the holster,
Yeah.
tell me that isn't a thing of beauty. I think the hat looks better with the visor down. It helps to make it look a bit more like a flight helmet. And I might see if I can stop it on. You can't really get a good glimpse of that helmet there either. But that's all right. We're going to show it in a minute. Now, one of the things that is, how good is that? So here's two. If you're going to pick one of these up, Nate, and I recommend that you do, it's getting tricky because there's two things that can be an issue with it. One, the boomerang is probably missing, right? But I reckon you can probably build one anyway. You definitely could. But the other issue that we have, and I'll add this picture in here, is the bow, the strings can snap. So, and you can get in this image, you can see a little bit better that little kangaroo in his hat. I wish I'd have made a closer up image. You know what? I'm going to do it on my phone because that's what we do around here. I'm going to gaz it, and I'm going to show you that picture a little bit closer. I'm sorry I didn't get a closer picture of that. That's on me. That's on me, Nate. I apologize.
Well, I'm pretty sure I can see it on that one anyway. But
Yeah, it might be. Maybe it's just my eyes. But let me zoom up onto it anyway, and we'll go this, whoop, and then I'll solo myself. Sorry to everybody at home. Whoop. And you can can you see it?
Yeah.
Can you see it? Can
that's
you
a
see
good
it?
detail. I can see it.
It is a good looking helmet. Look at that mustache too.
Yeah. Glorious.
Now, that's a
mustache.
Now, while looking for images, oh God, get myself off of solo. Woo. While looking at images of Skymate, I did find a custom. And custom on, I think it was called Joe Customs was the website. So let me set it up for you, right? We have Skymate in pink. We have him in blue and gold, which is Aussie colors. Sponsored by Kanga. Looks quality. Love his weapons and visor. Yeah, I think so too. Now, green and gold, very Aussie colors. Pink could be considered questionable, but it was the 90s, and I've got no issue with pink. But I saw a custom that brings it to a little bit more of a desert theme. Check out that.
That's pretty damn cool.
That's a pretty good custom. I don't know who did it. I tried to click on the link and it just said, whoops, this website can't be found. But it was on Joe Customs. So check it out. If you did this custom, you did a great job. Sorry I couldn't link it. But yeah, he's painted the hat. The roo's red. The browns look great. I'm not saying that necessarily it's an improvement, but what a great second version this would have made had they made a second version.
See, that's what I imagined it would have looked like if that was the first version and then the colorful one was the second version. Like that looks like it would have been in the earlier G.I. Joe stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
That's a really cool custom.
It is. I love it. And I couldn't not show it. I couldn't not show it because I thought it was that good. Now, let me tell you something. I've got a couple of clips to show. And the reason why is because Skymate, while he wasn't in the original Sunbow cartoon, he did make it to the Deke animated series of G.I. Joe. Got to get tough. Yo, Joe, which I imagine you haven't seen any of.
Nope.
No, but we have an opportunity right now to listen to what Skymate sounded like. And we are going to, between the two of us, we're going to determine whether or not they did a good job of an Aussie accent, whether it was maybe it was an Australian that did it. We don't know. Yay, clips. We're going to do it. And so people in the chat, if you want to play along, I'll play the video. And then, we can't critique it too hardly because back in the 80s and 90s, to get a good Aussie accent, even the Simpsons didn't do it great. So let's just see. Well, I'll play the clip. Stop talking, Zazel. Just play the clip. Yeah. It's not bad.
That's perfection.
A ruddy kangaroo. Yeah, thank goodness indeed. Thank goodness for that plant. Kiwi, how are you, buddy? Yo, Joe. Oh, so what do we reckon for the G.I. Joe Skymate animated appearance? What are we given for the old Australian twang?
I think you nailed it. Absolutely nailed it.
Yeah, I think it was pretty good. I would give it.
It's actually not the worst.
It's not. I was pleasantly surprised when I found that clip. He's in like maybe 8 episodes, but he only has 2 episodes where he has a speaking role. So you only hear him 2 times in 2 episodes. But I was like, oh, this is going to be so bad. And I played the clip. I was like, this is actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good. Like, I would give it maybe an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, as far as I go, like for the time, that was pretty good. I mean, you still hear stuff nowadays that's worse than that. So
yeah, and here's a point in Johnny's making. Aussie Wolverine from Pride of the X-Men. If you haven't heard that, that's not great. As much as I love an Aussie Wolverine, you know what I noticed about this custom? Almost makes it look like an Aussie Space Commander.
Yeah.
Yellow cap and all. Yeah. So yeah, I would definitely give it a 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. The Aussie, I know the Aussie Simpsons episode was tongue in cheek. They weren't trying to be serious, so it was like really putting on thick. But I found that with a lot of cartoons that were trying to depict Aussies, that it would sound like really overly done. And I thought this one was actually pretty good. I thought it was pretty good.
That Simpsons thing, I loved how much they made fun of us. I always loved shows like American stuff that kind of made fun of the Australians. Like some people got all offended. We don't act like that. But like I've just always thought that was hilarious.
I thought so too, and I still play Knifey Spoony.
Yeah, and $500 dues.
Big enough beer for you, Yank. All right, so I have a look at we'll take it because we didn't really dive into it too much, but the image of Skymate on the left. He's got his bow in hand. I reckon that's. I wish I had a closer image of it. I've really got to come better prepared. I came with clips and everything. I knew I would fail somewhere. But what do you think of this image?
I think it is pretty cool. He definitely looks like he means business.
I like it. I think that it's he's not on his glider, obviously, but it shows him wielding the compound bow. He doesn't actually have a firearm. He's just got the boomerang and the compound bow. But as a bonus, and I've already done more than I usually do for this show, Nate. But as a bonus, I've actually even found a G.I. Joe trading card with different art of Skymate, and I thought maybe we could do a comparison and maybe pick which one is our favorite.
Cool. Lay it on me.
I don't think the pink cap is the best, mate. Oh, dear. Uh-oh. All right, so here it is. Check that out.
I mean, he does... He looks more like an Aussie you'd run into down the street
Yeah.
Maybe like he looked kind of more like someone you'd meet in the Centrelink queue.
Nailed it. So he's got a little bit more of a gruff look. He's lost the mustache. The pink hat's more of a red, and he's got pretty much a full scruffy beard. Relatable, isn't that right, Nate?
Yeah, totally.
But let's have a look at the bio on the back of the card and see if there's anything extra in there or anything different to the file card. If you're able to read it.
Let's see. His name's the same. Stillborn in Queenstown. Special equipment: X-wing stealth glider, special training, special.
Ooh, X-wing. Bit of a Star Wars fan, is he?
Yeah. That's a bit of an upgrade.
I've got the X-wing stealth glider.
Yeah. Australian Special Air Service, current assignment, temporary assignment for 3 Sabre assignment, Australian SAS. That's the same. Skymate grew up in the land down under where women glow and men plunder. Watching birds swoop and dart through the trees. Today, after years of military training, he soars down out of the sky like a bird of prey, neutralizing his enemies before they make a sound. Master of covert air assault and a seasoned martial arts expert, Skymate flies with the grace of a hawk and attacks with the ferocity of a grizzly bear.
Whew. So they've added a martial arts expert to Skymate's list of legendary feats. Speaking of legends, morning, buddies. Morning, guys.
How you doing, buddy?
Good to see you, my friend. Good morning to you, Beard Jitsu. I reckon probably is Beard Jitsu.
Yeah, it's just karate, but there's always a tinny in one hand.
Yeah. What is it as? A master of covert air assault. Well, that makes sense. So it now has the grace of a hawk and attacks with the ferocity of a grizzly bear, just like an Aussie in the line of Centrelink. But here we are with...
He's basically a drop bear.
Exactly. That could have been another... That would have been actually a pretty good code name for Skymate, drop bear, right?
Yeah.
Cheers, Kiwi. Appreciate it, buddy. Yeah, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to also check out Nate's channel on the Retro Tinker. The links are in the description. But okay, if we had to pick on the card, if let's say they brought about a single card without the glider, I don't know why you would. What do you reckon they would put on the card? Which one would be the better option? This one or that one but bigger?
That one but bigger.
Yeah, I like it too. I do. I don't mind the art style of these pictures, but it doesn't really look like Skymate. Maybe it's his kid. It's Daniel T. Toner Jr. But yeah, that's a pretty good, in my opinion, and he's a corporal, pretty good first installment of our Aussie G.I. Joes. And I don't know if you picked up on it, but there was a character in that video that I played that was also an Australian, and his name's Major Blood. So I reckon maybe next week we come back and look at Major Blood.
Sounds good.
We got 2 Aussie accents for the price of 1 then.
Nice.
You may have missed out on it. But there he is, Skymate, our mate Nate. What do you reckon, seeing of all of this, do you reckon that this is our first good look at an Aussie G.I. Joe, or are you disappointed?
No, I think it's a good look. I think he's not a bad figure. Like, he's well sculpted. He's got some cool accessories. He's got a glider. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree. So bloody cool. But yeah, I gotta say that if I don't have this guy currently in my collection now, but he's high on my priorities. After looking this up again, going down memory lane, he's high on my priority to try and pick up now. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get him with the glider.
That'd be pretty scarce.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to do, but definitely the figure. Just because he looks so good. I mean, here are the 3 issues I'm going to have picking up this figure, right? Yeah, so there were more, and Spirit came with one. So that's right, they did have another wave. Yeah. They did have another wave, and Spirit was in one of them. Who's Spirit, Skynate? You don't know yet, do you?
He's the other guy from the other Aussie from the video, apparently.
No, he's not Aussie. But he's not Aussie. But we'll get to Spirit eventually. Spirit's a great character from G.I. Joe. So the issue I have with maybe trying to complete one of these guys, other than not having the figure at all, start there. Some of the issues you'll find is that the peg on the chest that the bow sticks to can be snapped off. The bow can be broken if it's not already missing. The boomerang probably missing. The eye visor, if that's there, they're like, it's like, okay, that's a bonus if it's there. It probably isn't. Yeah. I like that detail. I'll take it back. Oh, hang on. Let me just go to the. I just noticed that detail on the back of the hat there. You can see the hair.
Yeah, the snapback.
How cool is it? Yeah, the snapback is the snapback helmet. He doesn't have a good snapback hat. Space Commander gave me the bet. Oh, it's not even a snapback. This was Velcro. Wear it backwards like the cool kids. Where was I going with this? Oh, yeah. So the bow, if the strings aren't broken, it's probably missing. The boomerang, probably missing. And the visor, probably missing. And the pegs anywhere, whether it be on the helmet or hat, snapback hat, or the peg on his chest, probably broken. Other than that, you're probably all right.
Yeah, it would have worked. Like, none of those issues would actually even bother me. But, like, that's... Yeah, I'm by no means a completionist. And if I wanted to fix the peg, that'd be a pretty easy fix. Yeah. But
nice. Kiwi's got one. Good on you, buddy. Anything missing, broken, or otherwise? Do you have the glider that goes with it? I reckon that's probably the bigger issue, is trying to find that glider in good condition. So in the bottom there, in the bubble where his bow, his visor, and his boomerang is, there's also the attachment that goes onto the glider for Skymate to stick to. But yeah, I reckon next week we'll look at Major Blood.
Cool. And
then I might have another excuse to use this.
This is Skymate. G.I. Joe will be right back.
8 out of 10. At least an 8 out of 10. He doesn't have the glider. You don't have to be sorry, man. I'm sorry for you not having the glider. He looked perfect at the poker table with that visor. I agree. So did anyone in the chat also have this figure? Were they aware of it back then, or is this something that you've only just found closer to your adult collecting days? Could you imagine finding one of these today on card? Oh,
there probably many of them are.
There can't be that many. Let's just do a quick eBay search. What do you reckon? And then I'm just going to tell you what the first one that comes up, right?
Yeah.
Love the arrows on the leg. Oh, I might have missed that. Where's the arrow? Oh, on his can you see them? Hang on a second. Let me go up.
Oh, down on his calf.
Yeah. Oh, that one's a little bit blurry.
Yeah,
down there.
Yeah.
Right there. On the careful of your foot. But that's a nice touch. I missed that.
That is cool.
That is cool. Probably, I wonder if it's probably on the wrong calf, though. It'd be difficult to get an arrow.
He's Hawkeye with wings.
All right. Yeah, right. So I'm going to look up G.I. Joe Skymate on eBay. And if any of them show up, what do you reckon the price range is going to be? Just the first couple. I'm not going to do a deep dive. Just the first couple that show up. What do you reckon? If I find any.
Oh, any like a little figure?
Far out. Here's one. Just have a guess.
Like I don't know, $2,000 for a carded one.
Well, I haven't found a carded one, but what about loose with the glider and what appears to be the boomerang? No, boomerang's missing, but the bow is there, and the visor's gone, and the post is snapped.
Oh, in Australia's stupid G.I. Joe prices, probably like $500.
$225.
Yeah, geez.
$225. That's just a local one, Lilith. Hey, keep on collecting. How are you? One of the cock boys joining in. G'day, Zazel and Nate. Sorry I'm late. That's all right. You're never late. You show up exactly as expected. What's the quote?
It arrives exactly what he means to.
Thanks. It costs a bazillion Aussie bucks, dollary dues.
$200 dues.
So a loose figure though, depending on, I mean, that one doesn't look too bad. Loose figure right now, I could probably pick one up. According to eBay, $20 with $10 postage. So this guy, this might be a good project. You know, it's got the post still attached to all the bits that need it. Doesn't have anything else with it, but I don't know, $20 is $20.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I found one. Look at okay, this one's from the Netherlands. It comes with the glider. It comes with the boomerang. It comes with the file card. It looks complete.
Nice.
How much do you think that is? From the Netherlands.
From the Netherlands. Like
the postage is $80, by the way.
Jeez.
But the action figure itself, all of this.
Yeah, like 300.
I'm really padding this episode out with eBay searches. $366 dues.
Yeah, wow.
They really do. I've gotten some good stuff from the Dutch. I will admit. I don't know.
Postage used to be so good though. Like even
It used to be very good.
Like so cheap. And
yeah.
Someone ruined it. Ruined.
Absolutely ruined. Well, we did. I always wonder if it's always Matt when Keep on Collecting shows up, or if it's like I don't ever want to know though. Like keep it a secret. Like it could be any one of the two. Anyway, so that was our look at Skymate. You probably never heard of Skymate before. Probably doesn't even ring a bell, but
because knowing is half the battle.
Space Commando.
The other half of the battle is trying to find a complete Skymate for under $300. Oh man, that's what I mean. It could be Matt. It could be Andrew. We don't know. It's usually Matt, but we don't know. Who knows? I'm gonna. You know what? If you see me next week with Skymate, I won't even tell you if I ever buy one. Right? It'll just be hanging on the back of the wall somewhere. Then you know. Every man and his dingo wants Skymate. Now, that's another thing I want to bring up. Thank you, Phil. All right, I shouldn't have been padding up the episode with eBay. I should have been mentioning that had this been a single card release without the glider, what would have been cool is if he came with a pet or a animal companion, and probably a dingo would be cool. Probably a kangaroo, but what do you think? I think he'd still come with a boomerang. He'd still come with the bow. The backpack would probably be, I don't know, you've got two options here, right? You can either have a jet backpack, so it can still be a Skymate, right? But it's a jetpack now, which could fit in a regular G.I. Joe, or he could just have like a Outback backpack.
I think that he should have come with a kangaroo, but with arrows sticking out of the pouch.
Perfect. Yes. So it's like the quiver, and that's the kangaroo's name is Quiver.
Keep up, Quiver.
I thought you were going. To be fair, Nate, I thought you were going somewhere else with that arrow comment. I thought it was like, oh man, that's dark. Give him a wombat. Yeah. But yeah, I think the great custom, whoever did this custom did a great job.
It's awesome.
So next week, we're going to come back with another Australian, this time in the bad guys, and we're going to talk some Major Blood. First of all, cool name.
Yeah.
Ah, even better. Of course, a kookaburra. Why wouldn't you have him with a bird? Of course you would. Or a hawk.
Yeah.
Not an eagle. Eagle's been done.
Well,
But yeah,
nothing-
kookaburra.
nothing- Nothing would quite blow a stealth mission like a kookaburra.
True. Imagine the death cry from above, though. I'd say also a cockatoo, but yeah, maybe a pinkaroo with lasers. It was the 90s. True. Not only would it have had lasers, but it would have also had a rocket firing mechanism. Oh, even better, a blue healer. Oh, look at all
Rocket firing Joey mechanism.
a ride-on emu, maybe as well. Oh, look, so many great ideas. Backpack with a koala and a bow and arrow set named Jacko.
The emu would have to be reserved for like an Australian Sergeant Slaughter because those things are a tank.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? What's that other bird? The cassowary. Oh,
yeah, murder birds.
murder burns. Prawn at a barbecue. You call that a shrimp? Yeah, all right. That's pretty cool. That was funny. Yes, we're going to come back with Major Blood. Probably one of the coolest names in the Cobra outfit. Major Blood. Reminds me of Baron Ironblood. Major Blood.
Yeah.
I love this idea too. Usually this show is just me talking at Nate and telling him stuff I know. Which I appreciate.
Yeah. Well, it's got to be that way. Otherwise, it's like, here's all the stuff that I don't know.
Who's this guy? One final look at our mate Skymate. There, that picture. It's not that high res, but thanks for everyone who's tuned in. Beer grenades. Thanks for everyone that's tuned in. We do appreciate it. Where our next hunt, you know what our next hunt's going to be? We'll keep going with the Aussie theme. I reckon we'll do a couple of episodes of Aussie theme. You know what we need to do? We need to find a Kiwi. We need to find a Kiwi, G.I. Joe, and or Cobra.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll claim it. That's right. G-Force Racing 20 almost lost their finger to a lager drill bit. Lager or lager? I lost Major Blood. I'll get my code. Thanks. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
Oi, oi, oi.
Nice. This was a fun episode. Thank you for indulging me with all my clips and tricks. Thanks for hanging out with me, Nate. We will come back with more Aussiness. If anyone knows, because I don't know if there is a Kiwi G.I. Joe. I have no idea. Daredevil Dave, how are you, buddy? What's up, guys? Been listening but couldn't respond because I was driving. Safe. Smart, mate. Good effort. This show's not worth dying for, trust me.
Yeah, no, so that like my voice, the last thing you hear, mate. Jeez.
Yeah, could you imagine? Oh, mate. I mean, I no offense, but I don't want either of us to be someone's final, anything. Anyway, could I suggest a modern twist on the classic finger? Probably not. Can I suggest a modern twist on a classic figure which has a connection to Australia? Yes, please. That would be a cool suggestion. Go ahead, throw it in the chat. A connection to Australia. I wonder who that would be. I'm not sure. But this has been fun. We will come back with a Cobra. If anyone does know if there are any Kiwi G.I. Joes or Cobras, if we have to, what we could do, we could hit up Space Commander and ask if any of the Action Force equivalent of G.I. Joes were retroactively made into Kiwis. If I recall correctly, possibly Flint, maybe? Like someone major, I think, was a Kiwi. Who's Flint? You don't know. That's why we do this show.
Yeah.
Anyway, this has been Ring a Bell with my mate Nate. Make sure you do go and check out his channel. He's a good dude. So go ahead and
check it out one time, won't you?
Do it tonight. I mean, if you're driving home, it could be one of the best last things you'll ever hear. The Modern Torch has a connection to Australia. I'll check it out. Fun chat. Yeah, thanks for joining us. And
Thanks,
this is my favorite day of the week where I just get to hang out with my mate Nate. Much appreciated. And with that, we're going to do the outro. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Check out my mate Nate's Retro Tinker. Link is in the description. And I will see you tomorrow morning for me, which is where I'm hanging out with Gaz, Yo Joey. So we're gonna be hanging out tomorrow to talk X-Men. Gaz, I hope you're all caught up on X-Men, mate. Oh, Nate, you got anything coming up? What do you got?
I've started filming my next video. Gonna be fixing Casey Jones.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So
does he have a cricket bag?
I've got his bag somewhere. I haven't got all of his accessories, but I got a few of them.
He comes with a golf bag. Never mind. I was thinking Phil for a second there with his cricket bag. All righty, let's get out of here. Go check out Nate's channel. Do it now. Don't wait. And go watch our mate Nate. And with that, Yo Joe, full force. And I'll see you on the next one.
Hey man, no strangers here. These times I hold them dear. Doors open, so come on in. Yeah, that was great. Let's do it again. Do you wanna come over? Just like the old times, we'll hit pause and then hit rewind. You wanna come over? Just like the old days, and we'll watch the time just fly. Do you wanna come over? Just like the old times, we'll hit pause and then hit rewind. You wanna come over? Just like the old days, and we'll watch the time just fly.
Because knowing is half the battle.
Space Commando.